This is your year. 2024, y'all, is going to be incredible. I am claiming that is going to be absolutely amazing. I am making there be no other option. Welcome to this week's episode of the Rutledge Perspective. It is Happy New Year 2024. And I am so excited to do this podcast episode for all of you and to connect with you because this is also almost the 200th episode of the Rutledge Perspective podcast. I can't believe it. So I'm going to be sending out some interesting stuff and some announcements for episode 200. So that is coming shortly. But for this episode, I really want to talk about how we are setting ourselves up for 2024. Who are you going to be? What are you going to do? How are you going to show up? All the things. I spent the end of the year really doing some deep work in preparation for 2024. October and November, I think you guys heard me say, was pretty tough for me. It was tough mentally, emotionally, financially, all the things. 2023 was just something. And those 2 months were really quite stressful. And then starting in December, maybe the end of November into December, things started to pick up a little bit, and I was able to spend some time getting my nervous system back under control and really focusing on what is it that I really want. And my perspective shifted to be more in tune with possibility, which is where I love to live my life. I love to live my life in possibility. And I started doing the final things for the completion of the certification, and I went to do to review some final pieces of the course and get ready for graduation. And one of the things that I had not listened to in putting together some things for this year was a mindset meditation. And I love mindset work. I think mindset work is so important because it is our mindset that is kind of the cornerstone of what we do, what we're choosing to do. Our nervous system gets in there. We are human beings and we have a nervous system that works to keep us safe, but it can show up and lie to us sometimes. And so that mindset work is really important so you can develop a lot of awareness, a lot of grace for yourself. So I'm doing this mindset awareness and it's about 7 or 8 minutes. And the title of it was, what is your work spirit animal? And I thought, I don't know about this, y'all. But I said, nope, Laurel, you know what? Just be open. Open your mind, open your heart to whatever the possibilities are for you going into 2024. And you never know out of this meditation what may come up that's going to prep you. So I did the meditation. And the animal that came up for me was the eagle, the bald eagle. And as it came up, I thought, really? I'm like, it's brown and the beak is this bright yellow and it's white and it does not match my colors, right? All the things, y'all, I'm serious. This is where my mind went. And as I was thinking those things, the person who was doing the guided meditation, because this was audio, who's doing the guided meditation said, you're going to want to reject the one that comes up to you. Don't do that. Just sit with it. Don't reject it. And I thought, fine. Okay. Well, I started thinking more about this eagle. And what I remembered was years ago when I was living in Ohio, my mom and my brother came to visit me and we went to the Cincinnati Zoo. And my favorite part of that zoo was the eagle enclosure. They had some eagles that they had rescued and it was phenomenal. And you didn't see a lot of them. They were way high up in the trees, but every once in a while you catch a glimpse of one and they're just the most magnificent birds. And so that was the first thing I remembered as I'm continuing to sit with this thing that I first want to reject. Then I started remembering that when I took my mom on a birthday trip up to the San Juan Islands, we were on one of those whale watching boats. Didn't see many whales, but saw tons of eagles. In the trees, we had our binoculars. They were hunting. It was magnificent. And it was cold, right? But you could see them and watch them. And then I connected with my right hand in my business, with my Jenny. Sounds like Forrest Gump, right? My Jenny. And she has an eagle in her life. And I won't tell that story because it's hers to tell. It's not mine to tell. But she has an eagle in her story. And I had sent a note to her because I had this revelation about this eagle. And when I sent it to her, she's like, oh my God, and told me the story of her eagle. And I was like, God wink. So here's the thing going into 2024. First of all, it is so important to just be open. I've been talking about on my Walking Wisdom Saturdays on IG Live about the book that I'm reading, Jen Sincero's You're a Badass at Making Money. And she talks a lot about being open to possibilities because we get really, really tied to the how, right? And y'all have heard me say that before. We get so tied to the how, but if we can focus on the what, the how will show up. And so being focused on what I want to achieve and how I want to serve, right? I really want to serve people through these things that I'm doing. Those are my what's, right? Being open and prepared to receive whatever's meant for me meant sitting still and giving grace to this appearance of this eagle. Again, my work spirit animal, this eagle. And as I thought more deeply about this eagle, right? And you think about the animal that they are, how regal they are, how quiet they are. Now they do call, right? But for the most part, they're pretty quiet birds. They are magnificent. They are fierce. They are protective of their families, of their nests. They kill when necessary for their own survival. But they also stay above the fray, right? They float on the wind. They fly really, really high. And they have exceptional eyesight. Their vision is incredible. They see things that many other creatures do not. When I started thinking about that animal, I said to myself, you know what? Sounds like the eagle is your work spirit animal because there are things about it that are absolutely you. That visionary, that seeing dots that other people not only don't see, but most definitely can't connect. That liking to stay above the fray, not being in confrontation all the time, but being able to be in the mix when necessary. Fiercely defending those that I love, those that are important to me. Being as focused on the success of my clients as I am on my own success. All of those things are about this animal. I'm working on the regal part, right? But all of these things are about that animal. So as you go into year 2024, my first question to you is not necessarily what is your spirit animal, but what are the things that are indicative of how you're going to show up this year? My word of non-negotiable is absolutely tied to that eagle. They are non-negotiable about protecting their peace. They are non-negotiable about protecting their nest and their babies and fishing when they need to. They are non-negotiable about floating on the wind and staying high above the fray. They are non-negotiable about those things for their own survival, right? And the survival of their families. What is your word for 2024 and how is that going to show up for you in this year? Now, the next thing that came up as I go into year 7 is, those words that we say to ourselves are really important. And as I ended this year and had all of these great intentions of getting everything clean and everything clear and moving things out of my space, which I did a lot of, I still have much more to do, but I did a lot of that and cleaning things out and throwing things away. As I fell asleep on Sunday and then again on New Year's Eve or New Year's and got ready to wake up this morning, the first thoughts in my mind were, you didn't get everything done. Man, here you go again. You really want to put a bunch of stuff out there, but are you ready? Nobody's going to pay attention. Nobody's going to want all the things, y'all. The struggle is real. And I had to take a minute and say, stop. Little Laurel who wants to be safe. Little Laurel who has so much to say, but has things in her past that made her stay quiet. Little Laurel who just doesn't want to fight. Little Laurel who just wants to have fun. I got you. I got you. It's going to be okay. We are going to jump both feet into this boat, taking us wherever it's going to take us because I got you and God's got me. And then my meditation this morning was about, you hear our tears, but we're going to get up and go anyway because you've got us. God wink. So this second question to you is, what are you going to go ahead and do? Faith over fear, confidence lagging courage, right? Courage over confidence. What are you going to go ahead and do because there are people waiting for you? There's someone waiting for you to show up. This is your year. 2024, y'all, is going to be incredible. I am claiming that is going to be absolutely amazing. I am making there be no other option for me and for my clients. That's just what it's going to be. We are claiming it, and everything we do is going to move towards that end. What are you going to do in 2024? To sit in possibility and not toxic positivity, but truly believing that you have the skills and the aptitude and the drive and the energy to make happen whatever you want to make happen. If you're in an organization that's just not working for you, do you have the wherewithal to say, let me stop and really examine this? Is it not working for me because of me? Or is it not working for me because this is just not the place for me to be? And either one of those is okay, but don't hurt yourself because you're mad at them. Make a plan. If you're building a business and you've got a team and things just aren't working and it looks like it's not going to happen and all the things, stop. Is your strategy clear? Are you really clear on what skills you need in your business to make it happen? And have you hired those skills? Not those people. Have you hired those skills? And then started working with the people that have those skills? Have you been clear about your communication? Are you holding people accountable? Are you holding yourself accountable? Are you falling into that trap of it's just easier if I do it? Are you shying away from difficult conversations? What are you doing this year that's within your power to say, you know what? This is what's going to happen this year. And it won't be for lack of trying if it doesn't occur. And I am open to redirection if this is not the path to get to the end goal. Just because you are redirected doesn't mean the ultimate goal is the wrong one. It may mean your way to get there is just a little bit different, and that's all right. So I am wishing you a phenomenal 2024. Happy New Year. Keep yourself on your list. Start with you. What are you feeling? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? And is it the truth? And then what are you going to do about it? Because we are going to make some amazing things happen this year, y'all. It is on. It is happening. Thank you so much for being a part of the Rutledge Perspective. Again, podcast episode 200 is coming in a couple of weeks. I am so excited. I can't believe it. 200 episodes. And I would not be here or doing it without all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this podcast, for tuning in and listening. I'd love to get to 20,000 downloads by then. So if you have not downloaded, liked, shared, commented, please do so. I'd like to get to that 20,000 number by the time I get to the 200th episode. Wouldn't that be great? And I appreciate every listen, every download, everything you've done to this point to support the podcast. New things coming in 2024, revamping some things, reframing some things, resetting some things, but all for the purpose of ensuring that you lead the way you want to lead, because leadership is about behavior, not about position. Whether that's leading in your career or leading in your business. It's about understanding that it's all about strategy and people. And it's about me as your Chief Navigation Officer doing everything I can in my power to help you get to where you want to be, because it's not about me. It's about you. Thank you again for tuning in. I am so excited for what's to come. Check out my website, laurelrutledge.com. If you are an entrepreneur running a professional services business looking to really take it to the next level, send me a note through my website, look at the Founders Intensive, and let's see if it makes sense for us to connect on that level. If you are a senior executive woman and you're here in the Houston area, I'm going to be starting a little small group, and perhaps that's something that makes sense for you to be in, to figure out why exactly it is you're doing what you're doing and what you want to be doing. Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic week and a phenomenal year. We'll see you along the road. Take care. Bye-bye. You have been listening to the Rutledge Perspective Podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and for connecting. You can find previous episodes of the podcast on my website at laurelrutledge.com/podcast. You can also find me on social media at Laurel K. Rutledge and/or The Rutledge Perspective. And I'd love your perspective on the things we talk about. And if there's a specific topic you want me to cover, just let me know. And please share this podcast with someone in your village who may need this little piece of perspective today. And if you're so inclined, I would really appreciate a 5-star rating and review on the platform of your choice. Apple Podcasts and Spotify reviews are particularly helpful. Thank you again for listening. Take care.